After 2 semesters studying marine biology, Moore and I have learned how to professionally regulate an aquarium. Now let's begin our journey into our tank. There are 7 different species within this tank, including sea apple, clownfish, baby stone crab, purple lobster, hermit crab, brittle star, and serpent star. First of all, let's take a look at sea apple. It's also known as sea cucumber, found primarily in Indo-Pacific waters. They usually attach to hard material, such as coral reefs and rocks. Sea apples feed primarily on plankton, which is filters from the water with its tentacles. Sea apples usually feed at night, at which the time their delicate tentacles are less at risk from predators. They are prey to many predators such as sea turtles, crustaceans, many fishes, and even people. Male release sperm and female releases eggs into the water where they unite and where their larvae develop. Clownfish, which is also known as Nemo, live at the bottom of shallow seas in sheltered reefs or in shallow lagoons. They are naive to warmer waters of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. There are no clownfish in the Atlantic. They primarily feed on small zooplankton. They are eaten by large fishes such as sharks. Only 2 clownfish, a male and a female in a group, reproduce through external fertilization. Depending on the species, they can lay hundreds or thousands of eggs. The male parent guards the eggs until they hatch about 6 to 10 days later, typically 2 hours after dusk. I also have a baby stone crab within this tank. Stone crab are usually found in western North Atlantic, including Texas and the Gulf of Mexico. They prefer to feed on oyster and other small mollusks, polyag, worms, and other crustaceans. They will also occasionally eat seagrass and carrion. Predators that feed on stone crabs include horse conch, grouper, sea turtles, cobia, octopus, and even humans. Their long spawning seasons last all spring and summer, during which time females produce up to 1 million eggs. Last but not least, purple lobster are brightly colored. When it comes to an ideal environment, they should have a thick gravel bed for burrowing and rocks for hiding, as well as live on a rock on which to hunt. They are originally from Indo-Pacific. They usually spend most of their daytimes hiding from the light. Since they are omnivores, their diet basically consists of scavenge. The breeding season of this lobster spines lasts late spring through summer, with mating occurring during the day. Okay, maintaining water quality is an extremely important thing to do for a tank. A bad quality would not only change the whole environment but also threaten to the species' life. Maintaining the water quality requires checking and adjusting the following items: salinity, food, temperature, and light. Also, different aquarium has different challenges. First of all, let's talk about salinity. Salinity is the saltiness or dissolved water content of this tank. We usually clean this tank at least every other week. Usually use sponge or scrubber for cleaning those tank. In order to maintain a healthy environment for fishes, we test salinity every other week. The standard salinity for this tank is around 1.021 to 1.023. If it's less than this standard, we should add more salt water. If it's more than this standard, we would add more RO water. As far as feeding is concerned, food definitely plays an important role in maintaining their health. We usually feed them 3 to 4 times a week. First of all, for clownfish, baby stone crab, hermit crab, brittle star, and serpent star, we usually use pellets to feed them. Since the purple lobster doesn't come out and eat during the daytime, Dr. Monahan usually feed after a week, drops few pellets for the lobster. Secondly, coral smoothie is only for sea apples food. The temperature is either too cold or too hot can make us sick. Likewise, temperature in this tank is really important. We always try to keep the temperature at between 78 degree to 80 degree. For light, we set up a timer for the light. It keeps on for 8 hours a day and it will turn off automatically, especially for the purple lobster. Since it doesn't show much activities during the daytime, turn off the light would be the best time period for it to come out to exercise and eat. The biggest challenge that we have in this tank would be keeping track on purple lobster and the sea apple. These two are not as active as the others. We don't usually feed them while we are in the school. However, I usually regularly add coral smoothie into the tank as well as purple lobster, which is after school. Moreover, we don't usually see them in the tank since purple lobster usually hides from us. We have to make sure they are healthy and if they are even alive. Okay, first of all, the common clownfish is usually found on shallow water coral reefs. It may also be found around outer reefs and in shallow lagoons, to depth of about 15 meters. The biggest difference between their natural habitat and my tank would be that we don't have any coral reefs for clownfish to live on, but it does create a relatively shallow area for it. Secondly, for the rest of species in this aquarium would be similar to where they usually live in the nature. We have many rocks in the tank. Brittle star and sipping star are marine invertebrates, which habitat both the sandy and rocky areas on the seabeds. Baby stone crab and hermit crab usually live around rocky areas and prefer bottoms of bays. Sea apples usually prefer the rocky habitat since they always attach to rocks. Even though none of these guys are currently listed as endangered or extinct species, it's really important for them to it's really possible for them to become endangered in maybe 10 or 20 years, and most of the causes of death are usually human activities. As an illustration of cetaceans, unintended human activities can be excessively harmful to them as well as intended human activities. Noise pollution, climate changes, ship collision, uh, unregulated hunting, and so on are all examples of causes to their deaths. Furthermore, since people have never been aware of protecting this Earth's global warming and a series of natural disasters constantly destroy our environment, this can for sure ruin marine species' home and lives, like the sea level decrease and the water become warmer. Therefore, protecting all of the marine species is extremely important for us.